And then let's everybody grab a seat. And again, and I said this earlier, whatever we are seated in, let it lock down if it has wheels or be without, preferably something without arms on either side, but be willing to make it work. So on the couch, on your bedside, whatever works for you. I'm gonna let my cat in the house right now, but find a comfortable seat. We wanna, hey baby girl, we wanna sit forward on our chair, scoot forward, shimmy forward so that, hey, baby girl, the pads of our feet plant firmly down in the earth, the whole pads of the foot. If you can't scoot far enough to make that happen, this is where blocks come in. Bring the floor to you. There is nothing wrong with that this morning. And when you find a comfortable seat, pads of the feet planted, you're going to focus on your sits bones, those bony protrusions underneath each butt cheek. Maybe you give a wibble wobble side to side and feel your body shift from sit bone to sit bone. That's what that is. It's your sits bones pressing down into your seat. And then settle somewhere where you feel the whole weight of your body nestling even between those sits bones. And then on an inhale of your choice, we're going to press down through our seat, down through the pads of our feet, rise tall through the top of the head like there's a string we're pulling right at the crown. Hang out in all of this length. We're really pressing space between each vertebra here. The neck grows long. The rib cage knits in to support the torso here. And then keeping this length, let your shoulders relax. Let your tongue and jaw soften. And then can you let the low belly soften just a little bit? You might lose some of that height and find a comfortable but powerful posture. We'll start our practice here. This morning's practice is about intense emotions, emotions like anger, emotions like deep fear or helplessness. These are emotions that deeply engage our nervous system and have lingering effects on the body. And I want to read some poetry from a book called Homebody. This is by Rupi Kaur, and she is a poet. This whole book is about coming home to your body and specifically after trauma. And so there are poems in here that are triggering, but this book is a powerful, powerful journey of her coming home to her body after a lifetime of trauma. And I'll read two different poems to start us out. None of them are labeled, none have titles. And this one begins like this. There are whole blackouts. In some of the years I have lived, my therapist says our minds erase trauma to help us move on. But every experience I've had is memorized in my flesh, even if my mind forgets. My body remembers. My body is the map of my life. My body wears what it's been through. My body signals the alarms when it thinks danger is coming, and suddenly the hungry little demons from my past come raging out of my flesh, screaming, "Don't you forget us. Don't you ever try and leave us behind." We've heard about how the body holds trauma. The nervous system is reshaped by our experiences. And it can cause a lot of digestion issues. It can cause a lot of physical pain. It can cause, it can trigger flare-ups or even trigger an autoimmune response in the first place. Our nervous systems are so incredibly powerful, right? It can draw us into burnout. All the things that we have experienced and that we hold inside of our body, when we hold those emotions in, it makes us sick, right? Emotionally, physically. And science is just really starting to get in touch with how deep that really goes. And so this morning, we're going to focus on relieving intensity, and we'll get to that next poem later. This intensity, let me get my mind together here. Let me regulate my own self. The intensity that we feel in our bodies, we can't just dampen it down. We can't eat food and press it down. You can't just breathe it out and relax into it. When your body feels intense, when you rage, when those demons come, right, crawling up, and we want to scream, we want to break things. And then we choose not to, right? Our evolved brain says, no, we don't act like that anymore. And so we take some deep breaths and we calm down. But all we did was interrupt a cycle that needed to happen, right? We still need to release the anger that we have felt. Now, this can be lifelong anger, right? This can be anger brought on by childhood experiences, by CPTSD, by living in undiagnosed autistic life. Like, there are so many reasons why we can experience this intensity in our body, this rage that over time gets stuck and makes us sick. And the answer isn't digging into our childhood and sussing out all of the individual things that caused our nervous system to react to the world this way, that caused our body to hold all of these emotions through chronic tension, through shortening of muscles, through the twisting of our physical body, right? Because of how the muscles have clenched to support our big emotions. And so instead of moving through the storyline to heal the body, talking about all the ways that we got to where we are, we need to release that intensity from the physical body. I didn't know that this was going to be a lecture, and I apologize. Let's get moving. So, when you feel intensity, when you feel anger, when you feel like you've been wronged, when you feel like you are trapped, when you feel like you are unheard, when you feel it bubbling up, the answer isn't always to breathe it down and settle it down. The answer can be let it the F out. And so this is how we're going to do that. We're going to release stuck anger in our body. We're going to learn how to express anger in a way that honors our physical body, that keeps it from being trapped. And we're going to do that through engagement of our muscles, holding and then releasing. And there's a few different ways we do that. First, let's get the breath in touch. So we're going to breathe deep into our low belly. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, let it out through the nose or mouth. You might even place a hand on the low belly just to allow some sensory feedback. Each inhale, filling the low belly, and then letting it out. Nose or mouth, doesn't matter. A few more breaths just like this. Fill the low belly deep. Feel it stretch. Let it go. Another breath or two. Now we're going to take those big, slow breaths, and we're going to focus on the exhale, right? Through the mouth or the nose. And instead of filling the belly deep on the breath in, we're going to press the air from that low belly on the exhale. So let's practice. We're going to do it pretty quick, and it's going to look like this. 5 breaths. I'll do it for you. Deep inhale, and then I know it's silly, but it works. Let's do this together. A deep inhale. We're squeezing that low belly, pulling the belly button in towards the spine. We're not worried about the heart center or worried about the chest. Let's do this one more time. 5 breaths. Focus on the exhale. Beautiful. That might be enough. Let's take this to a new level. We're going to engage the rest of our body, not just the low belly with the breath. So we're going to lean forward in our chair. Feel the weight of your body begin to press down to the pads of your feet. Can you feel that? Now press the toes actively down into the earth as well, like you're curling your toes against the earth. We're engaging the muscles of the feet. We're engaging the muscles of the calves. And then we're going to bring our awareness up through the thighs. As you continue pressing down into the earth, can you engage the outer thighs? Almost like you want to push your hips out your sockets while you press down to the pads of the feet. So the muscles of the leg engage. Now squeeze your butt cheeks as you do this. I know, right? Squeeze the butt cheeks, the whole of the legs just radiating as they engage. And then we're going to curl down. We're going to tuck our belly button in, keeping those butt cheeks squeezed. Tuck your belly button in. We're going to round the spine, bring the elbows in as far as they like, and then make fists, maybe strong fists, maybe gentle fists, thumbs on the outside. We're going to squeeze the fists together, engage the arms, hold the elbows in towards each other, right? And then you might tuck the forehead down towards the fists. But our goal here is to just create this tight, energetic ball in our body, engaging all the muscles, curling the toes against the earth, squeezing those butt cheeks. Gentle fist, right? You might even take a gentle clench in your jaw if that feels nice. And then let's find those breaths again. 5 breaths, just like this. A deep inhale, and then exhale, really tucking the low belly in. You might repeat that again, 5 more breaths if it feels good. Otherwise, hang out like this in your natural breath, keeping the muscles engaged. Keep them engaged. If the body shakes, that's all right. As long as there's no pain, we're just releasing stuck energy. And then on an inhale of your choice, release the fist, rise back up into a gentle seat. Let the butt cheeks relax. Let the shoulders soften. Maybe you close your eyes and just for a moment feel sensation. So that is one way of releasing intense feelings in your body, releasing old stuck intensity or new intensity that we found based on a situation we might be in. Beautiful. Let's move into another somatic movement before we start our yoga flow that's going to help us release anger. This one is a little more active, might be a little bit more embarrassing, but actually, in my opinion, for me, has an even greater release. You might find that some of these work better for you than others. Let it be yours. From here, keeping this stance, we're going to lean forward, feel our weight press down to the pads of our feet yet again, right? We're engaging these muscles. Beautiful. We're going to bring our hands out by our sides, pulling the elbows back, squeezing those shoulder blades, spreading the fingertips wide. And then it's almost like we want to stand up out of our chair, right? We're going to lean forward. We're going to engage the legs like we want to stand up, except for on the exhale, instead of rising, we're just going to push it all away. Now, a very firm exhale that pulls that low belly in is going to help you release that pent up stuck energy. You might, before you start doing this, have a moment and just be like, where do I feel anger in my body? Is it in my hips and pelvis? This is a very common area. Low back. Maybe it's in your shoulders and jaw. Get in touch with that intensity. And you don't have to call it anger, right? Anger comes in many forms. That intensity comes in many forms. Maybe it's fear. Maybe you don't identify it. It's just intense. Take a deep inhale into the body when you're ready. On that exhale, push into the pads of the feet like you're going to rise up. Press those fingertips away, right? Inhale, bring it back. Exhale. Inhale, bring it back. Exhale. Let's do this 4 more times. You might even get some burst, right? Like you want to stand up from your seat. Maybe your kids have pissed you off. Maybe your workload is too great. Maybe the expectations for you are too much. Maybe you don't get the rest that you deserve. Whatever it is that pisses you off, that makes you angry, we just press it from our body, right? So that we can release that intensity and then move through the situation with mindfulness and embodiment. One more time. Beautiful. Let it go. Let the shoulders relax. Maybe we do some shoulder circles on an inhale, squeeze them forward, roll them up. Exhale, squeeze them back, roll them down. 2 more breaths, just like this. Big, deep belly breaths, and then reverse it. Inhale, squeeze back, round up. Exhale, squeeze forward, roll down. Big, deep breaths help to calm that nervous system. Beautiful. On an exhale, let those shoulders stay melted. Let's move into a sun sal because a lot of those anger releasing techniques build heat in the body because heat is what you need to release. It's not about calm always. It's not about gentle always. A regulated nervous system isn't always a peaceful, sweet one. Sometimes it is a grounded and commanding one. And it's okay to operate from both of those places. And releasing our anger invites us to. So, sun salutations. You might grab your blocks, place them between the legs, preparing ourselves for a forward fold. We ground through the pads of the feet, ground through our sits bones. On an inhale, we rise up, just like at the beginning of class. And then on your next exhale, take this length into your forward fold, making space for the belly and the heart between the thighs. You might plant the thighs atop, or the hands atop your thighs, or down on blocks, or let them hang. And our goal here is to just let the heart center melt towards the earth. You might heel till your feet out a little wider to make space for your belly and your chest. We really just want to find ease. And then we support ourselves in a seated twist by pressing through the pads of our feet. Maybe you let the top of the head hang heavy towards the earth. And then on an inhale of your choice, we rise up to flat back. So what this looks like is we're just lifting through the top of our head as we press down through our sits bones. You might plant your hands atop your shins or on blocks, straightening that spine out, keeping the neck in alignment with the rest of the body. And then when you're ready, press back up into your angry chair. What is that angry chair? We know it. Let's do 3 breaths. Pressing through the pads of the feet. We pretend to rise up. And then on that next inhale, sweep the arms up. We're going to interlace the fingers in temple mudra. So we interlace all the fingers, leaving the 2 pointer fingers out, pressing those pointer fingers skyward to find length through the whole of the spine. And then on an exhale, we lean towards the right, pressing into that right foot to support us. On your next inhale, rise up. Exhale, lean. Move with the breath, switching where we press down to support the body. And then once you have that anchor, right, that firm foundation that allows you to rise up, that allows you to fold or bend without hurting the body or throwing it around, then you're going to focus on the length that you're creating all along the side body. So when you bend, pressing out through those fingertips to find that length, moving with the breath. Once more to either side. Beautiful. And then on your next exhale, release those hands, pressing through the fingertips, slowly lower them down by your sides. Wonderful. On an inhale of your choice, sweep your arms out and up. Exhale, find your fold. However you want to be there, you decide what it looks like. On an inhale of your choice, rise up to flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, press strong to the pads of the feet. Sweep the arms up. We rise all the way up. Exhale, let's lean once to either side. Inhale to rise. Doesn't matter which way you go. Exhale to lean. Inhale to rise. Exhale, sweep the arms down by our sides. Now, option to interlace the fingers behind your back. You might instead grab a strap and hold it at your back, or you might simply make fists just like this, pressing the fists towards one another. And then we're squeezing our shoulder blades back, squeezing the shoulder blades like there's a pencil between them that you just got to hold there. And then let your next few breaths fill your heart center, feel it pump forward as you squeeze those shoulder blades back. Beautiful. From here, an opportunity to take the slowest fold of your life by trusting your weight in the pads of your feet. So on an inhale, find length in that spine. Exhale, melt the belly and the heart, only as much as they want to. And maybe that's just this. Maybe you keep going. There are no medals for making any certain shape, only for listening to what your body needs today. And as you fold, keep those shoulder blades squeezed. We have a tendency to want to rest as we fold, and we're just going to keep the heart open. On an inhale of your choice, press strong to the pads of the feet, rise up. That's right. Beautiful. All right, when you are ready, plant through the pads of your feet. Let's start our sun salutation again. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, find your personal fold. Inhale when you're ready to a flat back. Exhale back down to the fold. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up, interlacing those fingers in temple mudra or Kali mudra. And then exhale, we stretch once to either side. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, release the hands. Interlace them behind the back or make fists, and then exhale, fold as much as you want to. Inhale, press through the feet, rise up. Beautiful. Exhale, release the hands. From here, it can be really nice not just to release anger this way by pressing it away from the body, but also side to side. And what we find is that like finding mobility here in the core of the body helps break up that intensity, right? So to get some of that movement, to get some of that release, you're going to take your left hand up by your left shoulder, and then on an exhale of your choice, press it over to the right. Inhale, bring it back. Exhale, press it over to the right. And we're really flexing the fingers of the hand, spreading the palms wide to engage the forearm. And then as you exhale, keep the muscles of the arm engaged like you're pressing an imaginary boulder, moving with your breath. Finding a twist here. I have my opposite hand resting on my thigh, sort of like an anchor to really bring this twist into the body. Once more on this side. And then let's switch sides. On an inhale, bring that right arm up. Exhale, press it towards the opposite side of the room. And maybe you're making the sound effects. It's super helpful. Maybe you're not. And you're just taking that deep exhale. But whatever it is, with each exhale, we're releasing anything we don't need to carry with us today, any intense feelings that aren't serving us. When you're ready, relax, find neutral. Beautiful. One more time through our flow, then let's slow it down, find some gentle twists. Plant through the pads of your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms out and up. Exhale, fold of your choice. Inhale, when you're ready, rise up to flat back. Exhale, back down into your fold. Inhale, press through the feet, sweep the arms skyward. Exhale, lean towards one side. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, lean towards the opposite. Inhale, rise. Exhale, when you're ready, press through those fingertips. Interlace them behind the back. This time, instead of exhaling and bending forward, we're going to turn towards the top of our right knee and then exhale over towards the top of it. Maybe you go a little ways, maybe a lot of ways. Keeping those shoulder blades squeezed, lower your forehead down towards that knee. Now we're still pressing through the pad of that right foot to support the body. And then on an inhale of your choice, press even firmer through that right foot to rise up. Exhale, switch sides. Take it at your pace. Then let the forehead hang heavy, the back of the neck relaxes, squeezing those shoulder blades back. Even I have to remind myself. When you're ready, press through the pad of that left foot, rise up tall, beautiful. Release the hands from this. Let's shake them out. They've done a lot of good work. And then let's find some big twists. We'll do some figure four twisting today because it's just a really effective chair twist. Maybe you grab a strap, maybe you don't. We're going to bring our feet hip distance apart or a little closer. We're going to cross our left ankle over the top of our left thigh. A lot of ways to do that. You might extend that right leg long, grab the big toe, slide it up. You might have used a strap to pull it up. A strap can be nice because then you can hold the foot up here without having to engage some of these muscles that we want to let be loose during this time. So first option, taking the heel of that left hand to the inside of that left thigh, fingertips pointed away from the body. You're going to press the heel of the hand down and then roll it away, right? Roll towards those fingertips out this direction. And as you press down, you're going to notice the shoulder hitches up towards your ear. To keep this from happening, we're going to press down from our shoulder. Lower it from the ear. Maybe you hang out here. Beautiful. Maybe you want to turn this into a fold by lifting the belly in the space between the thighs and folding forward. It's not for everybody. It changes where you feel this opening. Maybe you notice if you folded forward, how the sensation has shifted or changed? When you're ready, if you folded, rise up. We take this into a twist. So my left hand finds the pad of my left foot or the ankle. And then on an inhale, you're going to sweep that right arm behind you. Let your eyes follow. And then I always say, wherever your eyes go, which is called your drishti in yoga, the heart follows, our focus follows. So as you sweep that right arm back, as you gaze back towards those fingertips, this heart center wants to turn too. And I really use my left hand as an anchor on my body to pull my heart center. So we'll hang out for another breath or two in this twist. Maybe you take a deep breath in and just notice where in the body you feel that stretch be transformed, change. And then what about on your next deep exhale? Sometimes I find that a deep exhale lets me move into the twist a little deeper. And it's incredible how our breath alone can not only create awareness in our body, but transform our whole practice. On an exhale of your choice, come on back to center, and then let's find this twist on the other side. So this time, our right hand finds that left knee. We're sweeping that left hand back behind us. The heart wants to follow the gaze. And then hang. Notice how those deep, slow breaths transform this posture. That even in stillness, there's so much for your mind to notice because sensation is always changing. And when you become the master of noticing how that sensation changes, you begin to become the master of your nervous system. On an exhale, release back to center. Let's go ahead and switch sides, finding your way at a comfortable pace. Ooh. And then when it feels right, that inner right heel of the hand, fingertips pointed away from the body, presses down, rolls that hip out. Maybe you notice it was easier on one side of the body than the other. And our goal in noticing that isn't to judge and be like, the left side of my body needs some work. It is to create relationship because your body is not symmetrical, not even on the outside, but especially not on the inside. It's muscular structure, it's organ placement. You are not symmetrical. One side of your body will always be different. We're just here to build non-judgmental relationship with self. Maybe you turn this into a fold, maybe you don't. I'm not gonna today. You decide. Let's take another breath or two wherever we find ourselves. And then when you're ready, if you folded, rise up, exhale. We're gonna find that right hand to the pad of that right foot, and then we're twisting open towards the left. Heart follows eyes, follows fingertips. Breathe and notice. We become the masters of our nervous system, really by becoming the friend of it. By becoming so familiar with its ins and outs, its reactions, what soothes it, what doesn't. Your nervous system being as unique as your body or your mind. When you're ready, exhale, release. Let's find this twist on the opposite side. Take your time getting there. Breathe and be. Let the jaw relax. Let your tongue find softness in your mouth. And then when it feels right, release. Come back to neutral. Let's take a minute or two in final Shavasana. This is corpse pose. To do it, we sit all the way back on our chair, our seat. If you're on the couch or in bed, maybe you just lay down. Our goal here is physical effortlessness. So we're relaxing the effort in our legs. We're relaxing the effort in our arms. Maybe they hang. Maybe they're in our lap. If you've got a blanket or like a flight pillow, sometimes I'll throw that around my neck and just hang out. Otherwise, you can tuck your chin in towards your chest and then melt. You are a popsicle in the summer sun. Let that warmth radiate down upon you and let your butt cheeks release. Your thighs soften, even the toes on your feet. Find a gentle home against the earth. We let it all go. When we release intensity from the body, when we do this hard work of meeting intense feeling with intense release. We're developing intimacy with self in a way that is so incredibly deeply healing and freeing. And this time that we spend in stillness, marinating in the beauty of our hard work, maybe you feel the softness in your body. Maybe you take a deep breath into the belly, fill it deep, and then slowly exhale. Feel the ease in your belly. Notice the fruits of your hard work here. As you hang and breathe for a minute or two, I want to read one more piece of poetry by Rupi. This is a list of things to heal your mood. 1, cry it, walk it, write it, scream it, dance it out of your body. 2, if after all that you are still spiraling out of control, ask yourself if sinking into the mud is worth it. 3, the answer is no. 4, the answer is breathe. 5, sip tea and feel your nervous system settle. 6, you are the hero of your life. 7, this feeling doesn't have power over you. 8, the universe has prepared you to handle this. 9, no matter how dark it gets, the light is on its way. 10, you are the light. 11, walk yourself back to where the love lives. Let that intensity go from your body. Find your nervous system settled within you and walk yourself back to where the love is. Because you are love and you are meant to exist in love, not in anger, not in fear. All right. The light and the dark in me sees the light and the dark in you, and we are the same. You might begin to awaken your body, finding intuitive stretching and movement that feels good, like a reward for all of your hard work. And my encouragement as you stretch and awaken is let it be ridiculous. No one cares what you look like. Woo! We'll do some flows like this next week. That's right, y'all. No one cares how the stretch looks in your body. What noises you make as you reawaken. Thank you for practicing with me this morning. All right. I'm going to go ahead and turn off our recording. I know this is unusual with my open